First of all, hi everybody. We just wanted to put out a video to discuss the new article that came out from Rolling Stone magazine, which I'm sure pretty much everybody in the Manson community already knows about. But anyway, the title of the article was "Should Marilyn Manson and R. Kelly be banned? More importantly, who should do it?" And the author of the article was Tim Ingham. And basically, the article just goes to kind of like group Manson in with R. Kelly, like as if that they were both similar, with like their background and like these allegations. But the difference is, as we'll get into, is R. Kelly's actually been convicted of things, like he's admitted to things, whereas Manson, it's just allegations. There's no there's no criminal cases against Manson whatsoever, when R. Kelly's in the middle of a criminal case. This article was brought about because of Kanye West bringing Manson onto stage for his Donda listening party. And basically the author of this article just kind of like destroys Manson and comparing him to R. Kelly. And we just wanted to come on here to discuss this today.
Yeah.
So, Rita, you know a lot about R. Kelly and what's been going on with him from like the start until now. So, would you be okay to like let everyone know like a synopsis as to what's been going on with R. Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, this started back in '94 when he married Aaliyah. She was 15, and I think he was 27, 28. And they, Aaliyah kind of like ran away with him to get married. And she wrote under that wedding certificate that she was 18 when she was not. And it just hell broke loose. And as I understood it, her parents kind of like annulled the marriage because she was underage. She was 15.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now there were rumors that she was pregnant, but I don't know if that's true or not. So that was just rumors.
Yeah, I think I read that he impregnated a minor, but not.
Yeah.
She was not named. So.
Yeah. No, he did impregnate a minor. That's another thing. In 2001, he was sued by an intern. She was 17 years old. She was an former intern at Epic Records. So they had actually a sexual relationship. And the case was settled out of court and for an undisclosed sum amount. And he also impregnated a woman, and she sued him in 2002 because he impregnated her when she was underage.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2002, there were two court cases. One woman, she had a relationship and got pregnant and was forced to do an abortion. And this was when she was underage. And another woman, I couldn't really understand if she was underage or not, but he filmed them having sex, and that became a bootleg sex tape that went all over everyone saw it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And those cases were also settled out of court with with a disclosure that they can't talk about it or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
And 2002, he was charged with pornography of a child. And that's the case with that videotape with him peeing. I think it was even on her and in her mouth. And that kid, so fucking nasty. And that kid is, I think, Sparkle's niece, if I remember correct.
Mm-hmm.
And Sparkle had no idea, but she recognized R. Kelly and she recognized her niece. And that child was recognized by several people, several family members. And R. Kelly is such an ass that he actually tried to blame his brother and say it was his brother on the tape.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can you imagine that?
Responsibility at all?
No. And as I understand it, he bribed that kid and her family.
Mm.
So she wouldn't testify. So the charges were pretty much dropped. and the case was like, they can't do anything about it because she wouldn't testify. And I mean, the tape was even confirmed to be real by the FBI. So he has been investigated by the FBI since 2002, at least.
Mhm.
There's like shitloads of tapes of him, because he was, I think we could say he was stupid, and we can thank him for being stupid, because he filmed everything he did. He filmed abuse, when he raped and abused kids all the time. So there was like shitloads of tapes, and those tapes were also turned over to the FBI by his employees and associates, whatever you want to call them, people around him, because they were pretty much like forced and pressed by the FBI to do so. So eventually they did. For me, I don't understand how they did not do it sooner, but that's on them. So yeah, I think in 2004 as well, about again having sex with an underage girl. I mean, he has had several cases gone up to court of having sex with minors, and these are like kids that are 13, 14. He had in 2004 a charge with 12 counts of making child pornography in Florida, because the police seized the camera during his arrest, where they found images of him having sex with an underage girl. But unfortunately, the charges were dropped because the judge agreed with Kelly's defense team that the police lacked sufficient evidence to justify a search. So that's the only reason it was dropped, because they were not allowed to do that search. This is just mental. They actually had a tape of him having sex with a minor, but just because that search wasn't justified when they arrested him on other child pornography accounts, that had to be dropped. I mean, it's just fucking amazing. And again, victims approaching in 2018, saying that they had sex with him, and there's evidence of them having sex with him when they were minors. So this has been going on for years. I mean, decades with him. And finally, I mean, it all dropped like in 2000, I think 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's been new documents, I mean, new evidence coming up all the time. So he can't get away from it. And he has sex trafficking charges. I mean, there's federal charges against him. So that's crossing over states. So it's several states. To put him and Manson even in the same article is just fucked up. I can't say anything else. This is a man that has abused kids. We're talking 13-year-old kids, 14, 15, besides grown women as well. He has had contact, and not even contact, I should say, like he groomed them to the point where they still at the age of 30 still want to have contact with him and still defends him. Yeah, of course, he groomed them from the age of 14, 13. How the hell are you gonna put that with Manson and his grown women he had a relationship with? Those are grown women. There's no investigation going on on Manson. There's no evidence.
Nope.
R. Kelly has shitloads of evidence, his own fucking tapes. So many of his, God, I forgot the English word, employees, because he had people around him all the time that has now testified against him. So there's too much. And again, FBI has investigated him. There's federal investigation had on him and federal charges against him. They think he will get a get at least 40 to 70 years in prison.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's just one state. So, I mean,
I don't know
you
how it
can't,
works
you
in the
can't.
US.
How the hell are they comparing him with Manson? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't either. Maybe to stay relevant, to, you know, to have a better article, to get more people to read it, or at least I should say a better article in their minds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a shit article if you ask me. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. Unless it's just money driven industry
As
and
usual.
they don't care whose name they smear in the process.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can Google R. Killing. You will get all these articles from like 3 years ago about this.
Yeah.
And today, because he's going to court, I think, wasn't it in August he's in court or June? Something like that.
Yeah, I think I read
Yeah.
that they just started
Again.
the trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's going down. He can't save himself. And that's good. But to compare, I don't understand it. Manson has had relationships with grown women.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To compare Manson's accusers to R. Kelly's victims, because that's what they are, is just horrible to do, and it's disgusting. And it's a mockery to R. Kelly's victims,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to any victim.
Mm.
I mean, come the fuck on, be better.
Mm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just, it pisses me off. I mean, you can't compare it. The man, just reading about it is just, come on. He even admitted, now he finally admitted, sorry, in August 2021, so it was not too long ago, right?
Mhm.
He has admitted finally that he has had a relationship with Aaliyah. And again, remember, Leo was
Wow.
15. So
Yeah.
it took this so many years. This
It's
relationship
like,
was in 94.
isn't it like almost 2 decades?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Just,
so sick.
yeah. And now, because he's shitting himself, he's like, okay, if I admit it, they can't make it into an evidence. So I have to admit. And Aaliyah is dead, and you're admitting it now, you fucking asshole.
Right.
So he has admitted to having underage sexual contact with Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Mm. I don't know if she's the one they call Jane Doe. If so, there's also another one he has admitted having sexual contact with, because it's Jane Doe number 1. So there's 2, and they're all underage. So Aaliyah and Jane Doe number 1.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like Manson's accusers trying to claim that they were groomed when they were all adults, all over the age of 18.
yeah.
They can't call that being groomed,
No.
you know? But then to go and compare that to R. Kelly, who actually did groom children
Yeah.
and did actually abuse children and sexually abuse children, and there's proof of it. And
Yeah.
when you look at Manson, there's no proof of anything. He's not being investigated.
No.
It's just sickening. Like in this article, the writer said that this stuff going on with Manson doesn't require scrutiny in the kangaroo court of so-called cancel culture. It requires the criminal justice system. Like, who is he to say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
I mean,
And
first of all, his accusers aren't even going to criminal justice. They're going for civil court.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just saying this shit for the sake of money, and they very much misused the word grooming, because you can't be groomed if you're over 18. Gaslighting I can understand, but not grooming. That's for children.
Yeah. Right.
yeah. We should leave that for kids. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, R. Kelly has, come on. I mean, I don't remember how many tapes, how many did I write there were? Yeah, I don't know. case, the 22 federal accounts, including child pornography, sex crimes, etc., racketeering, abuse, bribery, because he tried to do that as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
What a shocker.
yeah, and again, this is federal charges, which means the FBI has investigated him. Manson has nothing. There is nothing. There's not even a regular police investigation against him because there's no fucking evidence.
Mm-hmm.
How I don't. Yeah, I mean, stop.
Wasn't
Just
he accused
stop.
of human trafficking as well? If I'm not wrong.
Who?
R. Kelly?
Manson,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Markelli is and Manson is too. Apparently, by the who was it? What's her name?
Maybe
Esme.
Ashley and
Esme.
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley as well. Yeah, but she traveled, so yeah, both did.
Mhm.
But come on.
Esme even got a green card in like 2014, I think. So
Yeah. Like after she left Manson, she stayed in LA to, to pursue her career. You know what I mean? So how can
Yeah.
she say at that point that she was trafficked whenever
Yeah.
it was her decision to stay? She didn't go back to where she lived, which was what, the UK, or I think.
yeah, I think she's
She
from
didn't. Yeah, she didn't go back. No, she stayed in LA.
Yes.
So that just goes out the window. And there's Ashley, whose family lives in LA, and she constantly bounced back from LA to Thailand to Japan to wherever back to LA.
Yeah.
Like, that's not trafficking either.
Yeah, no,
Like,
you're going home. You're traveling back and forth. So,
yeah.
I mean, if the thing is that if Manson so-called trafficked her, then what the hell are the people doing in Asia?
Yeah, true.
What is her agency doing then? Her model agency doing then? Because she's traveling back and forth.
Yeah, I guess
I mean,
everyone traffics her.
yeah. Poor
Everybody.
child. Oh, I'm sorry. Child.
That sounds like my grandma would traffic me to Spain 2 weeks every summer. So
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It doesn't make any sense because it's that's not how it works.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. No. I mean, R. Kelly is a first-class asshole. He's a predator.
Yeah.
No doubt. We all knew it since Aliyah. Because why do you even look at a 15-year-old when you're fucking close to 30 in a sexual manner?
Right. Definitely.
And you could see she was a kid. I mean, she looked like a child. She looked like a kid, a young teenager. So I mean, there's what the fuck, and the only reason is because he needs someone to control. He likes that, and he's fucking nasty. He's nasty.
Yeah. Now, wasn't Aaliyah's debut album called something like Age Ain't Nothing But a Number or whatever?
Yeah.
You see R.
Sent me
Kelly
that
in the
the other
corner.
day, so
Yeah, he produced it. I mean, she was like his protege, and then after all of that shit, it with everything, and they ended it or whatever because they never really confirmed it while it was happening.
Yeah.
And
I just Google it. Isn't that him in the background?
yeah, that's him in the background.
Yes.
Yeah. He produced it. If I remember correctly, he produced it. He invested in her as an artist. Yeah, and so much more.
He discovered her.
Yeah, exactly. So they were just close friends and blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't marry my close friend. I have a male close friend. I didn't marry. And also, I also want to say one thing.
Yeah.
That for Ashley and Esme and Evan, referring to themselves as kids because they were young in their mind, whatever you want to say. I don't really know what word to use, but I'm going to be a bit personal now. My boyfriend is 10 and a half years younger than me.
Yeah.
He was 25 when I met him. And we started dating and whatnot, and then eventually became a couple. So he was still 25. Did I groom him? I asked him today, actually, do you think I groomed you in any way? were you a kid at 25 and when I was 30, you know? And he was like,
Yeah.
no.
You would be a kid at 25.
Exactly. I was being really, and he was like, no, come on. I was an adult and you did not groom me or anything. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. What's the difference?
Yeah, it's like a decade's difference, but he's still an adult and
Exactly.
legal age, so it's not
Yeah.
it's not a
Right.
big deal.
Right.
No, I didn't rob him from the cradle, you know, like
No.
I just had to ask him, like, do you see the point here I'm making? These women were grown. They were grown. They were grown adults. They were adults, and he's an adult. It doesn't matter the age difference. There are many couples who are just they have like 10, 15, even 20 years age difference. There's nothing wrong with it.
No. There's not,
I
as
mean,
long as
as long as
person's
you're
okay,
an adult and legal age, then do you.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. Do whatever rocks your boat. I mean, do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in love and you like it, whatever the case is, go ahead, have a relationship. I think even Tina Turner has a lot younger man. So
Madonna too. Madonna.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're
what
all
the fuck?
adults, so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
Yeah, and how the hell are we comparing? How is he the
Manson.
journalist? Yeah, comparing Manson with R. Kelly. This is just shitloads of underage kids. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a frustrating and sickening comparison because there is no comparison. It's like,
no.
stop it, Rolling Stone. Like,
Yeah,
stop.
do better, do better. You can do
Yeah.
better. I hope you can. I mean, you should be able to
I mean,
do
they're
better,
just
I should say.
further proving that journalism is dead because they have nothing better to write. It's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
they came up with it in the middle of the night and they're like, oh, this is gonna be a good idea.
Oh, yeah, this sounds good. Let's do this. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound good. It really doesn't. Just stop. I mean, oh God. Kelly's Chicago trial is delayed by 6 months after prosecutors seized more than 100 electronic devices, including smartphones, iPads, and hard drives. Listen to this shit, from a storage facility holding the Stars tour equipment. All right, so he didn't even have it in his house, so he just had it in the storage, thinking that nobody would find it. You fucking nasty piece of shit. So
That's
there's
sick.
more. It's just more and more evidence piling up against R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Right.
Do we see any evidence piling up against Manson? I haven't even seen
No.
one.
Me either.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing we've seen is from Ashley, and that's the stock image, but that's about it.
Yeah,
No,
still no
there
evidence.
was
And false
Esme's
police
back.
reports from Evan.
Yeah, and Esme's
But that's
back.
about it.
You know,
Huh?
Esme's back too, which she said was what, whip marks, and it was actually like a rope mark that didn't last any amount of time because right after that she was photographed and there was no marks on her back.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, to me, it looked like shibari, rope
Mm-hmm.
art, bondage. It's called shibari, if I remember correct. And you get those type of marks,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
they will go away. It's because you're hanging and you're being like tied a bit tight, and it's quite beautiful actually. It's art,
Mm.
and those marks will go away.
Right.
That's not whipping marks. You could see you could see the rope,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the pattern, the rope pattern. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
But if it would have been whipping scars, those scars would have been there for at least a month.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
They're big. They're big as shit.
yeah, and to whip somebody, you're gonna rip the skin up. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like wounds. So that takes time to heal, and there should be some, in my opinion, at least some type of scarring left somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So no,
Yeah.
no.
And what happened like with Esme, that was part of their filming. You know,
Yeah,
they were filming what, a movie.
yeah,
What was that?
And
Yeah. Or
yeah.
the music video for How I
something of
Played,
yeah.
like they do in the movies. Yeah. And I remember reading that happened, what, the last day of filming. You know, like
Yeah.
that was the climax of what he was trying to get at with his art.
Yeah,
Like,
and she knew
it,
about it. She knew.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So she knew it. She knew about it. She knew she was hired to do that job. Like
Yeah.
she, you know, she knew everything ahead of time. So now, how is it that how many ever years later it's abuse? Like
I don't
you
get it.
no,
Or,
like, no.
yeah,
And
I
she
mean,
said that it took her 7 years after she left
Mm.
to realize that,
yeah,
oh,
no. I'm gonna be on.
it
I'm
took my
gonna
dad 7
go.
years that he was abused to realize that he was abused.
Yeah. I mean, most people who are abused in relationships, they know that they are abused during their relationship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like they come to a conclusion of it 10 years later, like, oh, wait a second. No, the only people I would say the ones that don't understand it are the ones who are groomed since they were like 13, 14, like that girl, the niece
Mm-hmm.
that R. Kelly pissed on and whatnot.
Yeah.
She actually she wouldn't go on the stand and in the trial. She wouldn't say anything. She was still on his side as an adult. She's been groomed for so long time. She was 13.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big star and he was going to help her with her career and everything because she was in a band. That band actually released an album. You know, to see that child and just knowing that she's the child in that video where he's pissing and shit. I mean, oh, I can't. It's just horrible. Anyways, and she still had contact with him as an adult. But now she is, as I understood, she is going to testify against him.
Mm.
So it took her. That I understand because she was a kid and also her parents never supported her. Her parents were also like paid off by him to not testify and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
she had the pressure. She had the pressure from him, R. Kelly, being the big star who was going to help her, and everybody was admiring her and whatnot. I mean him, and also her parents not being supportive in that my child is being abused by him. So they were supporting her, supporting R. Kelly in a way to keep having contact with their child. She had no support, and you could see in that documentary, Sparkle is talking about it, and she was like cast aside by her own family because she was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't leave her with him."
Mm.
So even her family was like, "Oh, be quiet." You know, they pushed her out from the family, pretty much. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that girl was.
Yeah. I mean, if you're groomed for so long, then that I can understand. But if it's
Yeah.
for like, if you're with someone for like not even a week, then how the fuck is that gonna happen?
And yeah, but also
Especially if
you're
you're,
an adult.
especially if you're a grown woman.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you're a grown woman. This is a kid. She had zero support from her parents. Her